The warm glow of the late afternoon sun began to seep through the curtains of Alara's living room as she unpacked the last of the moving boxes. She found herself humming to an ancient tune, a song that seemed to echo from the corners of the plaster walls. The town of Briar Hollow sat snugly between tall pines, its facades clad in the weary charm of yesteryear. It was the type of place where every passerby offered a warm smile, yet their eyes held a depth that hinted at untold stories. As day turned to dusk, Alara decided to explore the nearby block. She noticed the houses, standing in an unusual alignment. From a distance, the rooftops formed an almost perfect crescent. The fading light cast elongated shadows that danced across the cobblestones. A hint of damp earth wafted through the air, mingling with the scent of pine needles. In that stillness, a distant laughter erupted, lively yet oddly hollow, echoing unnervingly through the evening. Her footsteps led her to a small park, where children played beneath flickering street lamps. There she spotted a peculiar sight, a door, slightly ajar on a home that had been spoken of with reverence during her earlier conversations with her neighbors. "You'll love it here," they'd said, their voices laced with warmth. But their eyes darted past her, seemingly focused on something that loomed behind the veil of the town's quaint appearance. After a slight hesitation, Alara approached the door. The familiar scent of freshly baked bread hung heavy in the air, twisted unnaturally by an unsettling chill that crept up her spine, like someone standing too close behind her. She stepped through the threshold, her heart drumming loudly in her chest, swallowed by a sudden surge of warmth. A room consumed by golden hues clung to every surface. Yet the temperature dropped as she moved further inside, her breath fogging, as though winter had found its way into this home. On the counter, an old photograph caught her eye. 5 smiling children surrounded a woman with strikingly sharp features. One of the faces, however, was scratched out, the smudges dark and forbidding against the pale paper. She felt the unmistakable urge to leave, but something unseen tugged at her, beckoning her deeper. From a hallway, whispers floated faintly like a forgotten memory. Alara turned her head, catching a glimpse of movement. Shadows twisted and contorted like mist, a cacophony of laughter that was no longer joyous, but rather something else entirely, chacun of the wailing of departed hopes and suppressed fears. Suddenly a loud clatter echoed behind her, the sound of the door slamming shut. Her pulse thundered in her ears as she dashed towards it, only to find the handle frozen in place, the grain of the wood seeming to shift under her palm, as if the very house were alive. Outside, the community had gathered, cloaked figures silently watching her struggle from the edge of the trees. Their eyes glinted in the fading light, a bizarre reflection that held her captive and chilled her blood, an unspoken promise of something ancient and threatening. All at once she understood. They were more than observers. They were protectors. In a blink the room around her warped, the walls humming a low, resonant chord. Alara glanced back at the photograph, her heart sinking. That scratched face, now infused with a haunting familiarity, began to echo that which had been lost, the souls forever trapped within the town's rhythms. With a surge of desperation, Alara turned and yanked on the door once more. It flew open, spilling her out into the safety of the night. The porch was empty, the laughter gone, but the figures remained, as if carved into the shadows, their faces shrouded in silence. She fled down the street, every footfall ringing with the simultaneous relief and dread of discovering that the town she had yearned to call home was bound by a ritual unseen. The warm glow of the sunset faded behind her, leaving an indelible mark even as she departed. The air growing colder. It remained, however, that lingering sense that Briar Hollow held its secrets close, and those who dared pry them open never returned the same. Alara knew she had escaped, but she would never be free. The haunting laughter echoed within her now, a whisper of a promise made long ago, entwined with the essence of Briar Hollow.